There's a moment right before your eyes open in the morning where just for 1 second, the day has not reached you yet. And then it does. And the weight of it settles onto your chest before your feet have even touched the floor. If you've ever laid there with your eyes held tight, as if keeping them closed could keep the day from being real, I want you to know I've been right there too, friend. Welcome back to the Grief Mentor podcast. This is your host, Teresa Davis. Today, I want to sit with you in the hardest part of the day, that first waking moment, and share the small thing that began to meet me there morning after morning when I had nothing left to bring to it. Before we get into today's episode, I want to share something that's very close to my heart. Over the years, I've talked with hundreds of grieving moms who tell me the same thing. My life feels chaotic. My thoughts and my emotions are chaotic, and I don't know how to make sense of any of this. That's exactly why I created Calming the Chaos. This new self-paced program includes 10 lessons, more than 3 hours of teaching, and 3 companion workbooks designed to help you navigate the guilt, the fear, the doubt, the identity shifts, and the uncertainty of life that often comes with child loss. My hope is that it will help you take a deep breath, feel less alone, and find steady ground beneath your feet again. You can find all that information in my show notes. If you're grieving the death of your child and you want the steps that lead to believing with confidence that life is still worth living, then you're in the right place. Hello, I'm Teresa, a grief mentor that's been where you are, and I teach grieving moms like you how to navigate life after child loss. If you're ready to take a step of courage and build a solid foundation to live with hope and purpose, then I'm here to teach you how. Are you ready for what God has for you? Then I'm ready to teach you. If the mornings are the hardest part of your day, I want you to hear me say this. I understand. The morning asks something of you before you're ready to give it. You wake, and the first thing that greets you is the absence. It's just there, waiting for you in that moment that your mind comes back online. You haven't even had your coffee yet. You haven't done anything yet. And already the day feels like more than you can carry. That's the sheer weight of loving a child who is no longer physically here walking beside you. And it tends to land the heaviest in that first quiet moment before the day gives you anything else to hold on to. When Andrew went to heaven, the hardest thing for my mind to do was simply believe it. Here today, gone tomorrow. When that involves one of your children, that is not something you can process on your own, friend. I believe that 100%. It was so unbelievable that my mind could not process it. If I'd been talking to a psychologist back then, they probably would have told me I was in denial. But honestly, I don't think it was denial. I think I was in shock. There's a difference. And I've come across so many moms who months and months and months, or even into years after their child went to heaven, and they are still trying to process those very early days of their grief. So if that's you, I want you to hear me, friend. Most nights, I did not sleep. I would get up and walk the floors of the house, moving from one chair to the other, from one sofa to the other. My body and my soul were so restless, there was no rest anywhere. And on the rare occasion when I would finally drift off, right before my eyes would open, the reality of what I was living was sitting right there waiting for me. I remember holding my eyes as tightly as I could, as if I didn't open them, it wouldn't be real. You can call it denial. You can call it whatever you want. It was simply a nightmare that I was trying to outrun. And mornings became especially difficult because every single morning, the thought of living another day without my son was more than I could bear. And I began to realize I had to do something different. This wasn't survivable. Not me lying there refusing to open my eyes, trying to keep reality out. So I began a new practice. Before my feet hit the floor, I began to pray. In those early days, it was a prayer of survival. You know the kind. Lord, I can't do this. I can't. You have to help me. It was a repetitive prayer. Basically, was the only thing that I could get out of my mouth. And I would do that before my feet hit the floor. As time went on, I began to realize that I was in the biggest spiritual battle of my life. So I began to pray a different prayer. I started putting on the armor of God, laying there in the bed in a spirit of prayer before I ever got up. And over time, that prayer kept growing. It has become one of the sweetest parts of my day. Conversations with the Lord while the day has not yet started. I turn it over to Him first, friend. I learned to live the very verse that I'm going to share with you today because it became a lifeline for me as I struggled to live it. And now those prayers are so automatic. It's the biggest anxiety buster I could have ever started because I realized that there is so little about this life that I could control. But what I can do is make my fears face my God. And that, my friend, is the power of prayer. There's a passage in the book of Lamentations that I clung to in those mornings. Now, you've probably heard this verse. You've probably heard it right here on this podcast, but I want you to hear it differently today. I want you to hear it slowly because that's the only way our minds can function when we're processing the death of our children. Slowly. And this is what it says. Lamentations 3:22 through 23. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed. Oh, hear that, friend? I was so overwhelmed the thought of facing another day without Andrew completely consumed me. But this is what the Holy Spirit taught me through this verse. Because of His love for me, I don't have to be consumed. And why is that? Because of what the rest of the verse says. For His compassion never fails. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. His compassion is new every morning. His faithfulness is new every morning. And my ability to function did not have to be consumed with fear. Earlier, I mentioned to you that learning to make our fears face our God is the answer. Because let's be truthful, friend, our fears are bigger than us, and they are consuming. So what do we do about it? We must make our fear face our God. Now, for a long time, I struggled to completely understand that verse. Because if His compassion and His mercy was meeting me every morning, then why were the mornings so hard? Why did I wake up with that weight on my chest every morning? But here's what I come to slowly understand. His compassion meeting me every morning doesn't mean the ache was gone by the time I woke up. It doesn't mean you open your eyes and you feel okay. That's not the promise. Here's the promise. His faithfulness is already there, waiting in that exact moment when reality comes rushing back in. before your feet hit the floor, before you prayed a single word, before you've done anything at all. Every single morning that the grief is waiting for you, His compassion is waiting for you too. In the same room, at the same hour, meeting you fresh, right in the hardest part of your day. That's what I was learning to live before I ever got out of the bed. Not that the morning would stop being hard, but that I would never wake into it alone. So here's one small thing that I'd like to offer you. And I mean small because mornings are not the time for big. Tomorrow, before your feet ever touch the floor, you don't have to figure out anything. You don't have to feel better. You don't have to act strong. You don't even have to have the words for what's going on in your heart and mind. But you can simply whisper His name in that first moment. Jesus, please help me. I can't do this on my own. That's it. That's how my prayer started over 7 years ago. Just turning that very first moment of the day over to the one who is already there waiting in it. Some mornings, that one whisper will be all you have. And I promise you, friend, it's enough. Are the mornings where you're struggling the most right now? Maybe it's for you, it's at night, and you lie awake, certain you should have done something differently. Maybe you are having those moments where your chest feels tight because you don't even know how you're going to survive another year without your child walking beside you. Maybe you have the quiet fear that maybe God is not who He says He is. Maybe you're looking in the mirror and you don't recognize the woman looking back because you don't know who you are anymore without your child here beside you. Maybe you've got that ache of wondering how you are supposed to learn to live again with your child in heaven. I want you to know that I have created something that will meet you right there in those moments. It's called Calming the Chaos, because that's what it is, friend. The chaos that comes, that turns our life upside down when our child is no longer walking beside you, completely changes the way you live. This is a resource that's gentle. It will meet you where you are, and you could go at your own pace so that you don't have to walk these days out by yourself. I teach you what the Holy Spirit has taught me over these last 7 years. Everything you need to know is in my show notes. It's waiting for you right there. Or if you're a Grief Mentor Insider, you can find that link right inside of your weekly email. So here's what I want to leave you with right now. Tomorrow morning, the first hard moment is going to come. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that it won't, because I've lived it too. The weight will likely be there waiting for you when your eyes open, but hear me, friend. So will He. His compassion, His mercy will be right there with you in that room, meeting you exactly where you are before your feet ever hit the floor. You won't have to wake up tomorrow by yourself. The reality is you really never have. Even on the mornings when you held your eyes shut like me, He was already there. So tomorrow, you don't have to be strong before you're ready. You don't have to have the words. Just whisper His name. Jesus, please help me. And let Him carry the first moment of your day for you. He's been faithful to me through 7 years of mornings now. And He will be faithful to you too. And that's all I have for you today. So until next time, take care.